tell you, your story matters. I want to talk about the power of story and taking control to write your own story. Your thoughts create your reality and your stories. Right now, like the thoughts going in your head, you probably have a few negative ones. Usually there's a lot of negative ones like I suck, oh my god, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not making enough money. Anyone relate to that? Like, why don't we make better stories for ourselves? Because the reality is stories are happening. And how we deliver them is going to be coming through different ways. Like we could read a book, we could watch a movie, we could listen to some researcher rattle off his data for the last 10 years. And to further my point on that, like say 30% of women are in charge of search and rescue of emergency situations, and they're making the world a better place. Or we have the paperback princess who kicked that dragon's ass and saved the prince, right? How do we do this? How do we take control? Well, first of all, we have to be aware who's writing our stories. Usually it's family, friends, work, spouse, whatever. In my world, I was the youngest, one of the youngest in my family, so I was always trying to prove myself. So that's my stories. I'm always trying to be older than what I was or am. And becoming aware of this has cons and pros. And the con is you can't hide anymore. You can't blame others. The pro is I can create any reality I want, and so can you. One of the stories that dictated my life at Emily Carr University was I was a scientist. I come from a biology background, and the instructors latched onto it like a lifeline. And I couldn't get away from it, so I just went for it. And I was painting with the guys. This is Staphylococcus pyogenes. I painted bacteria. The smallest I painted was 4 feet by 4 feet. I made my own panels, and it was like this thick. It was hot. It was sexy. It was masculine. It was testosterone just oozing through me. This is chlamydia. And those are some details. So I love this quote, the world's not made of atoms, the world is made of stories. Okay, let's keep it real, I do have a science background. The world is not only made of atoms, the world is also made of stories. So we have to be aware of what is our story that we're telling the world, because it's happening no matter what of your awareness. At Emily Carr, I maxed out on the masculine, and I hid from all the men in the painting studio. And I was making these little flowers in the sculpture studio where there was no one. And I think this, and I would hide them in nooks and crannies throughout. And you may miss that. You may never see it. I think this is a better representation of who I am. And from this, I got a show at the Stride Gallery in Calgary. And I had this room, and I put this big fence. It was 10 by 10 feet. One side there was nothing, and on the other side it was completely polluted with these blue flowers. And just like Picasso, I went through a blue period, and I feel like everyone should go through a blue period. And I did. And if I could spend my entire life splattering flowers around the world, I would. If I could make a living just making these little guys, I would happily do that. Going back to Emily Carr, I burnt out after I graduated. I didn't make anything for 2 years. I sat down on my couch one day, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? And a thought came. And you might have crazy thoughts, and I encourage you to go with those crazy thoughts, because your crazy thought has never been thought before, so make it a reality. Mine was, I'm going to paint a bunch, or draw a bunch of ants on that board. And I was weirded out, but I did it anyways, right? Like, it's weird. Like, who draws ants? That many. So I went to the Bounce Center. That's a massive drawing. Like, it's bigger than me. And I just drew ants and ants and ants. I was getting noticed at the Bounce Center by curators. They're like, good job on the ants. I'm showing nationally for my ants. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. Like, I can draw a mean ant. Look at that thing. It's hot, right? And then I continued with the design of it. And people are noticing, and the number one question is how many ants? It's not about it. I don't care about how many. It's the fact that I'm drawing them, and this is crop circles. But I went with it. And some of those stories came back where people are like, oh, the science girl, right? Like, because I worked with an entomologist and ants, right? Insects. So we got the artist as a biologist thing happening again. And I'm jumping into math ratios because everyone wants to know how many. So I would do like I don't know, like 1 colored ant to 15 black ants, and then you can do the math. Isn't that so cool? But I had to look a little deeper at this because my ants aren't coming from science. It's coming from anxiety. And I was uncomfortable with the fact that we all want to be different, but doing it the exact same way. That's where the ants message is coming from. Yeah, I have lots of biology behind it, but that's not the point. And so now I'm looking more into the feminine. That's what my practice is all about. I'm reading a lot about Greek and Roman mythology, and I want to start combating the masculine. Like, I can't rinse myself out more of the masculine. And with this one, I'm mixing Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and Chloris, the goddess of flowers. And I want to, through murals, I want to paint the feminine. And I don't want the feminine based on the masculinized notion of objecting the feminine. I want to explore what it is, because I don't know the answer to that. But through this, I feel I might. I wrote a book. I wrote an illustrator with my niece. It's a Fun Food Friends adventure. I have no idea where this came from, guys. Like, based on all the stories, no idea. And it's about problem solving for kids through collaboration rather than individualistic approach, as well as creativity. I got bored with educational books as a kid. I felt like just a little puppet on a string. I was always inspired by the weirdest, wackiest books, because then I could do whatever I want, right? Like, the greatest inventions came from being able to think outside the box. So why don't I, right? And through it, I went and I spoke at a school, and it was there was a lot of autistic kids in the classroom, and this little girl, she couldn't communicate verbally. She can't even move around without help. But the essence of her was so lovely, and to be able to talk to this kid about my creation and just how she lit up, and this kid, Kenneth, oh my God, I love Kenneth. When I was there, Kenneth, I didn't even think Kenneth saw me, but this drawing was sent to me afterwards of Pops, one of my characters who saved the day with Miss Cupcake in my story. They totally beat that fry back with ketchup. It's not good. I'm so moved by this one drawing because it came from me, and it's more than any of the work that from someone else defining who I was. That right there makes me feel like I'm rich. I also do daily doodles, and I have no idea where these are going and why I do it. It's kind of a sketchbook online where I do a drawing a day, a half hour to an hour. I put into it, and I put it out there, and it's very vulnerable for me because this shit would never go in a gallery. Like, never. But I love the quote by Plato, "Those who tell stories rule society." And my story is really simple. I like to draw, period. Nothing more. And I'd love to stand in front of you and say this is easy. It's really easy to figure out what your stories are, who's defining, and it's not. It's really hard, actually, because as soon as you start, kind of bucking the system according to whoever defined you, they're coming at you to get you back in that box. As well as when you're kind of an empty vessel, people need to put you in a box. I'm always getting these, you're this way. I'm like, I don't really relate what you're even saying to me. I'm right now. I love the quote by Amy Schumer. I'm a woman with thoughts and questions and shit to say. I will say if I'm beautiful. I'll say if I'm strong. You will not determine my story. I will. And I challenge all of you to discover what your story is and have the courage to start owning it. And I want to tell you that I will be there cheering you on every step of the way. Wow, I feel like I'm going to cry. Because your story is important and your story matters.